A lot of great things to talk about. And so we've already touched briefly on one of the reasons you were kind of late. We're not going to go into great detail, but kind of closure for your team today.
Yeah.
You know the investigation is over.
Right.
You continue to move ahead with the hope that some of the guys may be back.
Sure.
But you've always had the philosophy, regardless of what the reason is, it's next man in, and you guys are moving forward. And you've got a lot of great kids to put on the field.
Yeah, we're ready to play. Our guys had a great week of practice. We're expecting great things from our guys. We got an offense that has got some playmakers. Our quarterback has had a great week of preparation. Outstanding offensive line. 3 very good and talented running backs. We're going to be able to do some things offensively that I think our fans haven't seen in a long time here at Notre Dame. So pretty excited about that. And then defensively, a lot of young talent. A lot of guys that are going to get a chance to play. You might not know. You're going to have your sheets because you're going to have to look up these names and numbers because you haven't seen them before. But, it's nice when you're watching film, you're going to have them for a long time, and it's going to be fun and exciting.
And you got into the stadium today to practice. Is really what you've always wanted to do every Thursday. Weather conditions and use of the field don't always allow you to do that.
Yeah.
But I think this is probably the 6th or 7th time that you've been in there this month, at least the 6th.
Yeah, I think it's the 6th.
What's it been like for the team? How have they adapted? And have you seen what you would hope to see if this change were made in terms of the surface?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, it's about 15 degrees warmer in the stadium. So for all those people that are with us in November, you'll be much warmer in November for those games that are a little chillier. No, I don't think it's going to be that much of an effect. But it's a fast track. It's exactly what we need for the kind of offense and defensive players that we're recruiting here. And it's really going to make a huge difference for us. Look, we had some difficulty with the turf, and quite frankly, we needed to do something about it, and we did. And it's going to make a big difference as we go through the season. So our kids are excited. It looks great too. It's going to show well, and it's a great surface to play on.
Yeah, it looks spectacular, and they even were able to mimic the patterns in the grass that they used to have by using slightly different shaded. It's actually hard to tell that it's not actual growing grass.
And we've got 9 stripes in each end zone, pointing at a 42-degree angle at the Central Administration Building. 1842. Obviously, the university starting there. So the great history and tradition to the field, even though it is synthetic, all those pieces are still there.
Let's look at a big picture question. It's your 5th season as the head coach of the Fighting Irish. You're the first coach to take this team to postseason play in each of your first 4 seasons. And it's also your 24th season as a head coach. And you've been through a lot of training camps. I know you've picked up some pointers. And in the first game, regardless of who you play against, really is different from all the other games. Yeah. What hurdles have you noticed that each team has to get over during that first game?
Well, I think making some plays. I think, especially at the quarterback position, Everett hasn't played in a couple of years. So, everyone's expecting him to come in and just pick up where he left off. Well, he hasn't played, the real game of football and the speed of the game. He hasn't played in a while. So he needs to go out there and he needs to make some plays early on and gain his confidence. I think once he has his confidence, I think he's going to take off. And I think, we've got a new defensive structure and scheme, so there's a new form of communication that goes on there, and you need to see there's some success. And those young guys that are going to be playing for us right away, they're going to be looking to gain some success because, you have some adversity out there. You don't know how your team's going to react, and that will be the first thing that we'll have to deal with, some adversity.
Now, I knew you would get here quickly, but you've exceeded even my expectations because you didn't have a lot of time to switch. And just as you were coming in, I was reminded, I'm sure there's some folks here who don't have tickets to Saturday's game. Now, it is a sellout, but each week the visiting team can turn some tickets back in. And there are a limited number of tickets still on sale at Notre Dame. If you don't have them, before you go to those other outlets that stand on street corners, you can go right to the ticket office or call 631-7356 or log on to und.com/tickets. And also, if you'd like to experience the Shamrock Series, and I know we're going to do a 6.5-hour pep rally pregame show from Georgia Street on Saturday. It's going to be a 2-hour pep rally. You guys don't have to be there for 2 hours.
Okay.
But there's going to be a long pep rally on Friday. If you'd like to go and get some tickets, again, you can log on to und.com/Shamrock Series for all the information. Coach, we have a ton of audience questions, so I'm going to let them direct the rest of the show. We're going to take our first time out. Back with your questions right after this timeout.
You're listening to the Brian Kelly Radio Show. Right now, the coaching staff isn't thinking about where to buy their next set of tires, but if they were, all they'd need to know is TireRack.com. They stock over 1 million tires and can have yours shipped to a trusted, independent, recommended installer in as little as 1 business day. But the coaching staff's not thinking about tires. They're thinking, how should we attack the cover 2 when the defense brings the safety into the box? TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
When injury strikes, you have a choice. Choose ATI Physical Therapy, an official sponsor of Notre Dame Athletics. They are committed to being by your side from the moment you meet until the last celebratory high five. You'll enjoy the ATI Physical Therapy process more than you can imagine. To experience the ATI difference, visit ATIPT.com or stop into one of their over 300 locations for a complimentary injury screening. Ask your doctor about the company that is taking physical therapy to a higher level. ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
This is your life. Live it well. South Bend Orthopedics.
Zach Martin of Notre Dame football was determined to stay in the game.
In 2012, I had a pretty bad high ankle sprain. The SBO docs were the first people to check me out. The biggest thing for me is their availability. SBO doctors, they're always there after practices and in the training room. I was looked at very closely throughout my career here and can attest to a lot of that success and staying on the field to those guys. This is my life and I'm living it well, thanks to South Bend Orthopedics.
We have batteries, brakes, mufflers, and more at your auto value hard store, where service is the difference. We get it.
We've got Rain-X Premium Windshield Washer and De-Icer, just $3.99 a gallon. Trico Exact Fit Wiper Blades, now only $7.99 a piece. Pennzoil Conventional Multi-Viscosity Motor Oil, just $4.99 a quart. And don't forget, you can always order parts online at autoparts2020.com. All that and more at your neighborhood Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
Join us at O'Rourke's Public House, home of the Brian Kelly Radio Show, to cheer on the Fighting Irish before, during, and after all home games. O'Rourke's Irish Decor, delicious menu items, and wide variety of beer selections are sure to enhance your game day experience. Bloody Mary Bar and Breakfast starting at 8 a.m. on all home game days. And O'Rourke's is the official Notre Dame game watch site for all away football games, featuring raffles and promotional prizes. Enjoy watching the game on one of O'Rourke's 15 TVs, including a 92-inch projector screen. O'Rourke's Public House is located directly across from Notre Dame's football stadium at the corner of Angela and Eddy Street in the Eddy Commons Center.
Welcome back to the Brian Kelly Radio Show. And a big welcome to our new sponsor this year, TireRack.com, presenting your radio show and your
Awesome.
TV show. And, of course, WatchND, presented by St. Joe Regional Medical Center. Let's get right to the questions. Fred from Watsonville, California, just brought this up to me personally. Sometimes it's good to be last. Not often, but sometimes it's good. He'd like to know where you get your blazers and sport coats from.
Yeah, I do have some nice blazers. I've got a couple of guys. One is a former Notre Dame guy who is in our fantasy camp. And he has his own business in itself. Guy is just an incredible guy. He's a lawyer and Notre Dame grad. He does some of my blazers. And then I have a group in Cincinnati who does a great job for me. And actually, I think this one here, yeah, this one is, and the thing I like about them is they, underneath the collar, what does the underneath the collar say on this one, Jack?
It says, play like a champion.
Yeah, play like a champion. So each one of them has a different Notre Dame slogan. It'd be play like a champion. It could be luck of the Irish or something like that. So I kind of like his touch.
Mark?
We're not going to talk fashion all night here? No, I don't think so.
There might be a few. Well, we did have one that I wasn't going to let you hear, but he's our question tonight. Dave Barrett wanted to know where the Malaysian airliner is, but I didn't think you had time to research that in your free time.
I have not, no.
Yeah. I think it's Mark Waltz or Mark Walton from Union, Michigan. In the past, the defensive line has had some big boys. With the line we have this year, how will they do against bigger offensive lines?
Well, we're pretty big up front. If you look at Isaac Rochelle, I think he may be one of our more physical players in terms of size. He's about 292 pounds. You're going to have Jerron Jones, who's 330 pounds. I think if you look at Sheldon Day, could be one of our best inside guys that I've had here. Now he's going to have to stay healthy and prove it on the field. He's 285 pounds. And then, Romeo Okora, athletic, 278 pounds. So we're big up front, and we've got some big guys behind him, too. So we did not get smaller. We may have gotten a little bit more athletic.
Blazer looks really good on TV, too.
Oh, good. Thank you.
All the
Appreciate it.
angles. Dean is here from South Bend, and he must have known that the media really hasn't hammered you on this the last couple of weeks, so he's going to. What's been done to improve the punt return team?
Well, you know, I get asked this question a lot, and I ask people and I challenge them, you know, if you really look at the numbers relative to punt return, it's not like we knew it when we grew up. I mean, once the rule changed relative to that you could get down the field before you punt the ball, it changed everything. Once everything went to spread punt, the coverage teams now just smother the punt returner, and the best punt return averages are, you know, under 5-6 per game and in terms of yardage. So we're looking for a guy, obviously, that can obviously score touchdowns. And right now it's Greg Bryant and Cody Riggs are the two guys that will get an opportunity on Saturday. So we think both those guys have got the opportunity to take it all the way. And again, I think you got to do a great job and hold up, and you got to have a great guy. But if you can punt the football and you've got a great punter, it is really hard to return punts in college football today.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a hotbed of Notre Dame fandom. Matter of fact, your TV show and the football replay both air on a Harrisburg TV station. Dan Vargo's here. What will the offensive tempo be like with Golson back compared to what we saw last year?
We'll play much faster. I mean, you know, Tommy what his strength was he could check a lot at the line of scrimmage, and we're not going to ask Everett to do that. We're going to ask him to call plays and let's go. Heck, you know, at times we may not block a guy, but that means they got to tackle Everett, and I don't think they can. So, you know, there's that kind of philosophy where, you know, Tommy was great at getting you in the right play and the right protection, but it took a lot of time off the clock. I want to run a lot more plays. You know, when we ran a faster offense with Tommy, even in the Pinstripe Bowl, we were able to run 90 plays. We want to get up in that neighborhood with Everett for every game. So you start to get into 90 plays where we averaged last year 67. You know, you start averaging about 20 plus more plays, that's going to be more points. So that's how we want to play with Everett.
Joe Soboralski's here from South Bend, and kind of an unusual question. Never had this question asked quite this way. Coach, what is your favorite opponent on this year's schedule? I don't know how you're supposed to answer that.
Well, the challenge, obviously, the schedule as a whole is an incredible challenge.
It's the toughest in the country.
Yeah.
And that comes from independent sources.
Yeah, it's a great challenge. Who doesn't want to go and beat Florida State at Florida State? I mean, that's a great one. You know, that's the challenge of playing, you know, the national champions. I really want to play Michigan. That game obviously means a lot. But we want to beat Rice. That's an important game. We need to get off to a good start. I mean, it's important for this football team to get off to a good start. As I said to you earlier, we got a lot of young players, and it's important that they see some success. And I really think the Rice game is really important for this football team. We need to get off to a good start and beat Rice.
And this just isn't just coach speaking. I mean, people
No.
are live, so I don't expect them to be studying every opponent. But Rice won 10 games last year. They're having that was their best year in over 50 years. David Bailiff has done an unbelievable job down there. And they're veteran and they know how to play.
This is a group out of Texas, and a Texas-laden football team with very good athletes. Last year they were a top 20 rushing team in the country. It's a good football team. Whatever way you want to spin it, they're not one of the top, you know, Power 5 conferences, but nobody's going to want to play Rice in their opener. Of course, we picked Rice when they were 10-4. You know, they're a good football team.
And they played A&M with Manziel at A&M very close till the end last year.
Absolutely, 21-14 going into the halftime, and so it's going to be a good game, and we need to beat Rice. That's an important game for us.
Devin Bolton from Harrisburg. Is there anyone left in Harrisburg? He would like to know which freshman will have the biggest impact this year, and it's a question that'll take a while to answer because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of guys that are going to play. I mean, right away, I mean, you know, from a freshman standpoint, you're going to see, I think, Saturday, you'll see 10 freshmen, true freshmen play football. It's the most that I've ever had in 24 years play for me. So you're going to see 10 true freshmen that just got here, just started classes on Tuesday, will be playing for Notre Dame on Saturday. So, you know, they still got the tassel on their rearview mirror from graduation from high school. So they still don't even know where to park yet. And they're going to be playing for Notre Dame on Saturday. I had Jay Hayes. Jay Hayes, a true freshman from Poly Prep High School. I was doing my press conference, and you can't plan this any better. But he barged into the press conference, and he said, "Is this where fellowship is?" I said, "This is awesome. You know, only at Notre Dame could somebody barge into the press conference."
All the cameras are there, and he's standing at the podium, yeah.
Is fellowship here? Of course fellowship's here. I'm with the media. It's always fellowship with the media.
But then he invited him in, and he's like, oh, came in, gave you a big hug, answered the question.
It was great. So that's what we got. We got a lot of young freshmen. 10 of them will play, and a lot of them will play fairly significant roles on Saturday.
A few moments ago, we welcomed TireRack.com, our new presenting sponsor. They are also presenting a new show on WatchND called Thursday Night Classic Games. It's a 2-hour online broadcast. And this week, we're kind of saluting home openers of the 98 Notre Dame-Michigan game, and you can only see it tonight on WatchND right after this show, which people are watching now. Now, the best part, we'd like you to join in on the conversation via social media. It's simple. Bring your Twitter handle and use hashtag NDFB Classics and have some fun. It's Thursday Night Classic Games presented by TireRack.com, live online, starting right after the show on WatchND. To watch, you need to return to the WatchND homepage, those of you out there, and just click on Thursday Night Classics. Now, WatchND is also available on mobile or tablet via the free WatchND app, which actually works exceptionally well. I'm not really a technical maven. I watch a lot of our stuff as I'm getting ready to go to sleep in bed every night on the WatchND app. Watch all your press conferences over and over because I learn a lot from them.
Okay.
You can find these at the App Store and on Google Play. We'll be back with more fan questions right after this timeout. We're live from O'Rourke's, the Brian Kelly Radio Show, presented by TireRack.com.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish welcomes another great year for both the soccer and volleyball teams facing exciting competition in the ACC. They also welcome you with a first-time buyers program. Get in on the action. Receive 25% off season tickets for both soccer and volleyball programs. Notre Dame men's soccer returns to Alumni Stadium for the 2014 season to defend their national championship title. Meanwhile, Lady Irish Soccer welcomes a new era under head coach Teresa Romanolo in her inaugural campaign. Get access to over 20 men's and women's regular season home games, priority seating, meeting the team, and more with first-time buyer perks. Tickets only $30 for adults, $22 for youth and seniors, and $75 for a family 4-pack. Also, Fighting Irish Volleyball brings you fast-paced, hard-hitting action every serve at the Purcell Pavilion. Access all 15 regular season home games, pre- and post-match events, and more. First-time buyer tickets only $26 for adults, $15 for youth and seniors, and $60 for a family 4-pack. Get in on Notre Dame volleyball and soccer first-time buyer perks. For tickets, call 631-7356 or go to UND.com and get into the game.
When the heat is on, you shouldn't have to wait for an air conditioning tech. So call the good people at Legacy Heating and Air and get the 2-hour guarantee. Whether you need a duct cleaning, air is on the fritz, or you need an air conditioning tune-up, a Legacy technician will always be there in 2 hours or less. Go to 2hourguarantee.com to meet their people and see their legacy. From Roger Cook and his son Brad to his son Tony, the Cooks promise and stand behind their people, their name, and a 2-hour guarantee. Legacy Heating and Air Conditioning, home of the on-time guarantee.
Come to the Marshall County Blueberry Festival this Labor Day weekend. Visit over 400 arts and crafts and food vendors. There will be all types of musical entertainment all weekend long. The K9 crew is back, plus lots of family activities, including a fabulous fireworks show on Sunday. Bring the whole family to the Marshall County Blueberry Festival, August 29th through September 1st at Centennial Park in Plymouth. Brought to you by Greenmark Equipment, ABC 57, Sunbelt Rentals, St. Joseph Regional Medical Center, and Hoosier Racing Tire. For more information, go to blueberryfestival.org.
Why drive around all day going from dealer to dealer looking for a new pickup truck? Siemens & Bridgman has a full line of Ford and Ram trucks all in one convenient location.
Do they have F-150s and Ram 1500s?
Sure do.
How about a large selection of Hemis and EcoBoosts?
Of course.
Even Power Strokes and Cummings?
Yep, all in one place. Siemens & Bridgman, serving Southwest Michigan and Northern Indiana. A short drive to a great deal.
Welcome back to the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House, presented by TireRack.com. As we said, people are watching this show all around the world. We also post the video archive. You can get the audio one on iTunes and also on WatchND, so you can watch it later on, beginning tomorrow. But we've got some questions tweeted in. Ryan Gage tweeted at me, can you mail me some Scottish eggs from O'Rourke's? I don't know. I don't think the mailman would like that. But he would also like to know, we talked about the difference in the offense with Everett Golson. He'd like to know the kind of progress you have seen, because Everett stayed in touch with you. You couldn't work with him, but he worked hard when he was away from the program.
Yeah, he did. And I think probably the biggest things for him were knowledge and protections, understanding the offense and having a great understanding of the offense. And then I think more than anything else is just his comfort in the pocket. It's easy, when you're an athlete to get outside the pocket and want to do that. When you're not 6'4", you want to get outside and see things. And so the biggest challenge for the quarterbacks that are under 6'2", they want to immediately escape the pocket so they can see. I think Everett's done a great job of staying in the pocket, changing his arm angle, which is so important for the quarterbacks that are under 6'2". In other words, they can't throw over the top because they're going to hit one of those big linemen in the head. They have to find angles to throw through linemen and around linemen, and he's done a really good job in that area. So all things point to him really putting together all those pieces. Now he's got to go do it. He's got to run the offense. And like I said, it's not going to be, Everett stepping on the field and it comes really easy. He's going to have, some time, but I think he'll pick it up real quickly.
I like this question from Chris Koziak, because I still think a lot of people don't really realize what your schedule is like. There are probably only a couple of days where you don't have to do some kind of public appearance or media appearance with someone. You have to talk to me more than even my wife wants to talk to. But I mean, you never mail it in. Even when there are times you have to answer the same question, not just for me, from 3 and 4 times. And Chris would like to know, Coach, what is your least favorite thing to deal with during the week outside of football activities? And he lists boosters, alumni, media, and whatnot. And I mean, more from perspective is there's a lot on your plate. Right. And when you're doing one thing, you can't be doing some other things that you might kind of think may have more to do with the X's and O's on Saturday.
Probably the recruiting. During the season, you want to be focused on your own players. Probably recruiting high school players right now that, have no investment in what you're doing, right? So that's probably the hardest thing, when you have to take time away from your own team and spend time away from what's impacting Notre Dame right now to work with recruits. But it's absolutely necessary. You have to do it because you have to build those relationships with the next stage of players that are going to play for you. So all these freshmen that are playing, and they're terrific players, I spent Monday nights on the phone with them. I spent time, on weekends and away from, family and dropping notes and emails, or not emails, but, Twitter, spending time with them. That's the toughest part of this job.
And has social media and these things, which have been around for a while, but now they're pervasive, has that made it tougher? Because with this and Twitter and whatnot, people expect immediate responses. It's not like Recruit X called on Monday and you get back to them on Friday. If it's somebody you really want, you almost have to call them back, because there might be other teams that are calling them right back.
Yeah, well, the one good thing about it is kids don't pick up their phone and answer their phone anymore. I probably everybody agrees with that, right? Nobody answers their phone. So really everything is done through, Twitter. And, for us, if we do phone call, we're just leaving a message and letting them know that we're thinking about them. But, we can direct message. We can use Twitter. We can use those forums. We're still using the mail system, which is like the Pony Express today when it comes to the forms of media that we have, social media that is. But Instagram, Snapchat, all of those things we have to be on to make sure that we can get to the kids that we're recruiting.
As this program plays better and better each season, again, more and more people want to be part of the sponsor package. And your headsets on the sideline on Saturday are going to have a new logo, VYSK, Fisk. And, folks, this is what Fisk makes. They make cases for iPhones. There's a battery down here, which gives you 120% more battery power after yours dies. And I hadn't had to charge this phone all day because the pack is doing it. But it also makes your phone secure. I didn't realize this. People can actually hack into your phone and turn the camera on, regardless of where you are. Now, this isn't necessarily that high tech, but it's got a little slide in there. You can probably see it. You push this over, they can turn the camera on, but it's covering the lens. But what this also does is it can encrypt all of the photos that are on here, all of your text messages, all of your emails. So if you're sending communication, the person receiving it has to have the program to get it, and then it disappears from your phone. Fisk Communications is a market leader in the private secure communications industry, and they are very proud to support Notre Dame football and, again, sponsoring the headsets that will be worn on the sidelines by Coach Kelly and his staff in 2014, because certainly you want that communication to be secure.
We would like that, yes.
Fisk EP1 privacy charging phone cases right here. They protect your phone from millions of pieces of malware, in addition, that can attack your phone, all while providing you with, as I said, 120% extra battery life. And I showed you the camera shutter system. This is now available on their website. You can pre-order it, and it's coming out very soon with all of the apps and whatnot. But we'd like to welcome them as well. Their website is fisk.com, VYSK.com. You can order your EP1 phone case today. Another Twitter question coming up here. Do you notice a difference? Has everybody adjusted well? This is from Closto. Has everybody adjusted well to the new turf? It's really not that new to them since you practice on it.
Yeah, no, I think we've made a great adjustment playing on it or practice on it 6 times. Everybody's got a good feel for it, and can't wait to play on Saturday.
Now, for those of you watching and listening who aren't here, we always give away some pretty good stuff. Not only the secondary prize tonight is a full set of programs from last year. And by the way, we're selling programs to Saturday's game right over here in the corner of a rock. But we're also giving away 2 sets of tickets to Saturday's game. So not only do you get to meet Coach and look him in the eye and hear him, you can get some pretty neat stuff if you come on out here. We're going to be back with more questions for Coach right after this timeout. The Brian Kelly Radio Show, presented by TireRack.com, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
Need the speed to power all of your devices? Xfinity delivers the fastest in-home Wi-Fi, so everyone can do more of what they love to do online. You can't do that with Uverse. Get the fastest in-home Wi-Fi today, or get started with Economy Plus Internet from Comcast for as low as $19.99 a month for a whole year. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today. Offer ends 9/30/14. Restrictions apply. Limited to new customers. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply.
Hey, this is Papa John. A new NFL season means a chance to mix things up. Fantasy teams, game day rituals, and now pizza toppings.
Your choice of any 2-topping large pizza is now just $10. Add a delicious mega chocolate chip cookie for only $5 more. Up your game with the kickoff special. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Official pizza of the NFL.
Limited time offer not valid with any other coupons or discounts. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. Additional toppings extra.
Like so many soldiers returning home from combat, adjusting to life as a civilian hasn't been easy for retired Army Staff Sergeant Ben Dellinger.
The hardest part was getting out. You don't lose your friends, but basically all those people get taken away from you all at once. It felt like my life was over at times. Everything I thought I was totally different.
American heroes like Ben face many challenges when they return home. That's why, for more than 90 years, Bank of America has partnered with military organizations to support jobs, housing, and critical needs of veterans and their families. We're also committed to recruiting and hiring veterans, reservists, and military spouses. And for Ben, we partnered with Military Warrior Support Foundation to award his family a mortgage-free home.
This is something I never expected to happen, and I'm truly grateful to each and every person involved.
To find out more about Bank of America's efforts, visit bankofamerica.com/military support. 2013 Bank of America Corporation. Bank of America, N.A. member FDIC.
We have batteries, brakes, mufflers, and more at your auto value. Parts store, where service is the difference. We get it.
We've got Rain-X Premium Windshield Washer and De-Icer, just $3.99 a gallon. Trico Exact Fit Wiper Blades, now only $7.99 a piece. Pennzoil Conventional Multi-Viscosity Motor Oil, just $4.99 a quart. And don't forget, you can always order parts online at autoparts2020.com. All that and more at your neighborhood Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
We are back at O'Rourke's Public House in Eddy Street Commons, a packed public house tonight. Enthusiastic Irish fans anticipating the start of the season. I mean, maybe I'm actually older than you, but not by that much. But the seasons keep getting longer and longer and starting earlier and earlier. Do you like this in part because it gives you an opportunity to get some breaks during the regular season?
Well, it doesn't necessarily change for us that much. We're kind of, programmed to be going right around Labor Day. And look, if you're not doing something in January as a football coach, you're generally unemployed. So you need to be focused that way. So it really doesn't change much for us. This year, just the way the schedule's set up with, the conference championship games now, it's allowed us to extend the season and get another bye week in there, which just means more recruiting for us. So we get 2 weeks now out on the road in terms of being able to recruit. But no, I think we're pretty much built on, Labor Day to, the first week in January as an extended season.
Dale is here from Dallas, Texas. Welcome, Dale. I think Delisle Dale.
Delisle.
Okay. That's not an Irish name, is it? I'm not good at no, I'm just kidding. If you were to describe this team, Coach, in 3 words in terms of where they are now, what would those 3 words be?
Athletic. Probably I would use exciting and inexperienced. I think we'll get all of that with those 3 words. I think you'll get all of that. There'll be times where you'll be, you'll be really excited watching the football team, but there's some inexperience. We're just going to have to, live with them. But they're going to be really good by the end of the season. This is going to be a fun team to watch.
As the head coach, though, how scary is that last word about your defense when they're inexperienced?
We're just going to have to score more points, right? I mean, we'll just put more points up. And look, by the end of the season, they're going to be really a good football team, and we get everybody back. I mean, we really return everybody on defense. If you look at on the offense, we start, Christian Lombard and Ben Koyak, 2 seniors. And then on the defensive side of the ball, in terms of seniors, Austin Collinsworth is a senior, and Cody Riggs is a senior. So you're talking about 9 starters back on offense, 9 starters back on defense. So, we're going to be fine. We'll have some growing pains, but it's going to be a young, fun, inexperienced at times, but an athletic football team.
TJ Yoder's here from Bristol, Indiana, under new defensive coordinator Coach Van Gorder. What kind of changes can we expect to see out of the defense?
Well, I think we'll dictate tempo a lot more defensively. We were very fundamentally sound defensively, and that was the charge that I asked Bob to play, that kind of defense, and he did a great job teaching fundamentals. We have a core of really strong, fundamentally sound players. Brian likes to dictate the tempo a little bit more defensively, and accordingly, if he sees that there's some weaknesses on a particular offense, he's going to exploit them.
Now, folks watching on WatchND and here in the bar, we want you focused up here, but if you notice, all of the monitors are hooked up to our television feed, and most of the players that Coach talks about, we've got video of them from the last few weeks of practice. And speaking of that, most of this shot by Alan Wazalewski, Big Al, who's around the team a lot, and we do want to give him a shout-out. Now, he better not be listening because earlier this week, he and his wife Bridget welcomed Al's first son, Brian, to this world. So we want to congratulate Alan, Bridget, and Brian Wazalewski. And he's not only does he work here, he's rabid.
Yeah, he's good.
You could send him out in the field, and he might get knocked over, but he'd get back up.
He does a great job.
Also, there's one here signed, says, I'm a Kelly. You know where I'm going with this, but you didn't sign it. Where are you? I'm a Kelly.
Well, my family's right here.
Well, but it's not.
Family and friends right here.
Well, it says, my brother is Brian, but most importantly, my husband and I are celebrating 45 years on opening day, and that's why we're here. So where are you? So, all right. Do you? I mean, you can't. Do you know that?
Congratulations.
All right. Thank you.
Congratulations. 45 years. Well, we're going to make it a great Saturday for you. Congratulations.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nan Tolchinsky is here, a longtime fixture on the South Bend athletic scene, and she asks a good question. What is harder to adjust to in Division I football? the athletic commitment or the academic commitment for players?
Well, I think that they're both difficult. I think each university has its challenges. I think Notre Dame has excellence in the classroom and on the playing field that probably makes it as challenging as anywhere in the country. I think there's a handful of schools that can truly say that they challenge you both in the classroom and on the football field at that level. You just need to look at graduation rates. You just need to look at some of those factors, and I think Notre Dame probably challenges the student athlete here, both in the classroom and on the field, as well as anywhere in the country.
Mickey Hannigan's here from Manchester, New Hampshire. Thanks, Mickey. Is Malik Zaire going to get any playing time this season?
Well, I'm sure he will. You know, I think we made it pretty clear that, you know, we have a number one quarterback. This is not a, you know, let's play two quarterback kind of situation, but we have great confidence in Malik and that, you know, he can come in and he can win football games for us. But if Malik is in, you know, Everett got hurt, we're up by a lot of points. So it's one of those things where we hope that he's in because we're up by a lot of points, not because Everett got hurt.
Folks, you're all invited to return here to O'Rourke's tomorrow night to remember one of the great guys to play football for the Irish in recent years, Aesop Schwab, who died last May after a courageous battle with lymphoma at the age of 26. Friends and former teammates are coming together tomorrow night to fundraise for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and the St. Baldrick's Foundation in his memory. Notre Dame team very involved in the St. Baldrick's Foundation. The party tomorrow night starts at 10 p.m. with music from Pat McKillen, the Notre Dame grad who is a huge Irish fan and has been playing music at just about every other pep rally this year. It's going to include a raffle with items from the Hammett Notre Dame bookstore and a live auction for 2 Michigan tickets and 2 pregame sideline passes for the Michigan game. And yes, that's the last one for the foreseeable future. So coming out tomorrow night in Aesop Schwab's memory. We'll be back with more of the Brian Kelly Radio Show right after this.
Ace Maytag, the store that service built.
Hey folks, Dave Ramsey here to tell you about my good friends at Ace Maytag, the largest home appliance center serving north central Indiana and southwest Michigan. They have a large selection of Maytag, Amana, Whirlpool, and KitchenAid appliances. Folks, I'm talking about 3,500 square feet of top name brand refrigerators, freezers, gas and electric ranges, microwaves, washers and dryers, and more. But for your gazelle-intense budget, you have to check out their scratch and dent department for even bigger savings. Plus, Ace Maytag is locally owned and operated. Owner John Kronwitter works directly with his staff, so you'll always receive that personal service. So don't wait. Visit Ace Maytag today. Ace Maytag is open Monday through Saturday and located at 810 East McKinley in Mishawaka, less than 1 mile east of Grape Road.
Ace Maytag, the store that service built.
What's that Michiana Celtic Festival? Big men in kilts throwing heavy stuff, pipers piping, dancers dancing, collies herding, keg tossing, haggis huddling, eat great food, drink great beer. Fiddler's Hearth sponsors the music lineup with Andro, Soul Tray, Kennedy's Kitchen, Highland Dancers, Notre Dame St. Mary's Irish Dancers, and the Caledonia Kilty Pipe Band. Bring lawn chairs to Howard Park on Sunday, August 31st, starting at 10 a.m. The Pikes are calling, brought to you by Fiddler's Hearth, DTSB, and South Bend Parks. Visit MichianaCelticSociety.org.
Price plus tax, title, and license. All Ford rebates to dealer must be financed with Ford Motor Credit Company. $13.89 per thousand finance with approved credit. Offer expires on September 2nd.
It's the Ford Summer Spectacular event going on now at Ziegler Elkhart Ford. This month only get 0% financing for 72 months. Plus, new 2014 Focuses only $14,498. New 2014 Fusions only $17,977. Or get up to $11,000 cash back on select new F-150s in stock. Only at Ziegler Elkhart Ford or online at zford.com for a great experience.
Get that designer look with solid wood molding at the Molding Outlet in LaPorte, located on East Lincoln Way next to Al's Supermarket. Save hundreds on their entire inventory, including baseboard, crown moldings, chair rails, quarter round, and ornate mantels. Molding Outlet now carries unfinished real oak flooring and solid decorative pine moldings. The Molding Outlet has several varieties of wood and MDF products, including factory seconds at huge discount pricing. The Molding Outlet is now open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 8 to 6, and Sundays from 8 to 4.
We are back on the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House, presented by our new sponsor, who we're very excited about, TireRack.com. You ever seen their huge complex that's out on the west side?
I have. I drive by it. I see it.
Stunning.
And yeah, they're good people. They
Locally
do
started business.
Yeah, and they're very generous in the community, too.
Absolutely. Ben Heidick's here from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And this is a really good question because your leadership council is very important to this football team. He would like to know how players get selected to serve on the leadership council, and can they serve multiple years?
Yeah, they're voted on. We have our position groups. Each position group has an opportunity to select representatives for their class and position group. So we start with our true freshmen, redshirt freshmen, sophomores, and work our way up by position group. So I have 18 representatives from each position group and class. So it gives us a great cross-section throughout the entire team. So issues that would affect seniors that don't affect, say, a freshman. For example, off-campus parking does not affect an on-campus, student. So different issues that are brought up before the Unity Council, it's important to have that kind of cross-section of representation.
Jeff Samut is here from Des Moines, Iowa. Besides tradition and excellence, what is the number one thing that you use to recruit a player to Notre Dame?
Well, the network, the Notre Dame network, and how that can benefit you, for the rest of your life. Obviously the Notre Dame degree. Just tonight, the people that are here from New York and Pennsylvania and Palm Beach, Georgia, let's continue, right? Across the country, the Notre Dame network, it's the strongest brand in the country. And so when you have that degree, you have that immediate contact with other Notre Dame alums throughout the country, and it's incredible brand power.
Martin Diaz is here from Goshen, and again, Coach doesn't do the schedule, but you are consulted on it. When will there be a Shamrock Series game in California? Have you talked about that? Because you get to California every year.
And that's a question that we've talked about, but because we're there every year, we felt like because of that presence, we wanted to get to other areas that we weren't in. And because we know we're in California every year, that's why we haven't had one there. We're looking for some really interesting venues over the next couple of years and some exciting ones that we have in the works right now that I think are going to come together. Of course, we'll be at Fenway Park next year. And we're working on some pretty exciting ones over the next couple of years that I think our Notre Dame fans are really going to be excited about.
I think we've set a record tonight, Coach, with the most questions ever. We're going to get to less than half of them, and we've asked more than we've ever asked on this show, and we have some more good ones left, but we have one more timeout. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
You're listening to the Brian Kelly Radio Show. Right now, the coaching staff isn't thinking about where to buy their next set of tires. If they were, they could go to TireRack.com to find the right tires for their cars and get them delivered to an independent recommended installer. But the coaching staff isn't thinking about tires. They're thinking 34 bunch left, halfback wide, Z-slant, Y-go, on 2. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
My name is Kurt. I like certain things, like a great haircut. That's why I go to Great Clips. They have clip notes that tell them exactly what I like. I don't want to be
Mr. Rockstar, right? I don't want an awesome fad, okay? I'm not a dude, or I'm not
the latest superstar, movie star who everyone wants to
be. I'm Kurt. That's why I go to Great Clips.
Come to Great Clips for a great haircut that's yours. With Clip Notes, you don't just get a cut, you get your haircut. New Clip Notes, only at Great Clips. It's going to be great.
St. Joseph Regional Medical Center is one of the most wired hospitals in the country. You might be asking, why adopt all this new technology well before other hospitals do? Because it helps our doctors and nurses provide a higher level of care. Because it keeps our patients safer. Because it's what we're called to do. That's why.
Join us at O'Rourke's Public House, home of the Brian Kelly Radio Show, to cheer on the Fighting Irish before, during, and after all home games. O'Rourke's Irish Decor, delicious menu items, and wide variety of beer selections are sure to enhance your game day experience. Bloody Mary Bar and Breakfast starting at 8 a.m. on all home game days. And O'Rourke's is the official Notre Dame game watch site for all away football games, featuring raffles and promotional prizes. Enjoy watching the game on one of O'Rourke's 15 TVs, including a 92-inch projector screen. O'Rourke's Public House is located directly across from Notre Dame's football stadium at the corner of Angela and Eddy Street in the Eddy Commons Center.
Welcome back to the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House, presented by TireRack.com. Don't forget, those of you watching on WatchND, as soon as we're done, go back to the main page and you can click on the debut of Thursday Night Classics. We take you back to 1998 and Notre Dame and Michigan. And here's a hint. The Irish were underdogs, but surprise, they won the football game against Tom Brady and Michigan. Good question to wrap up on. Coach, this year's team is a very different look from last year. Who are the leaders on this year's team?
Well, we named 4 captains. If you know, 2 of our seniors, Austin Collinsworth, Cam McDaniel. I think they were very deserving, and they've been, really good senior leaders for us. And again, I think any time that you can get your seniors to be involved in the leadership part of your program, that's important. Sheldon Day, who's a redshirt junior for us, has been obviously one of our better players and a very vocal leader for us. And Nick Martin, Zach Martin's brother, another very strong leader for us as a redshirt junior. So 2 juniors and 2 seniors, I think it makes just a great mix for us.
Kayla McAdams, a youngster from Marlton, New Jersey. And Kayla, thank you. You both signed and printed your name. You're going to go far in this world. 2 questions. One is, what is your favorite color?
Green.
But she also asked a good football question. What is your biggest challenge starting the new season?
Oh, I think every year it's for us more than anything else, it's probably developing, some young players on the defensive side of the ball. I think that's probably our biggest challenge. And then, with the kind of schedule that we have is, maintaining, that confidence level week in and week out. We've got some young guys that are going to get some, tough days ahead of them. We just got to keep their confidence up.
Frank Crum's here from Holland Patent, New York, with a question. Is there going to be a pep rally tomorrow night? And for those of you wondering, there's always a pep rally.
Always
here
a
at Notre
pep
Dame.
rally. The Rockney Memorial Gymnasium, and we'll be there, providing the weather holds out for us. We'll be there, and the full team will be there, and our captains will speak, and we'll have it rocking and rolling about 6:15.
That the team will get there at 6:15. The entertainment starts at 4:30 if you want to come out. And actually, the rain's not supposed to come until Saturday. So, but doesn't matter.
We don't cancel games.
And the field won't get as slick. So, Coach, we're just about out of time. Thank you so much. You really hustled over here. Always does a great job. Thank all of you for coming out. We're going to be here every Thursday night throughout the fall, except the week before the Syracuse game. We're taking a week off. But until then, for Coach Kelly, I'm Jack Nolan. Thanks so much for listening. The Brian Kelly Radio Show.